How's it going, guys? It's Paradise, and I'm super excited to share with you these major games coming to the new console generation, the PS5 and Xbox Series X. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more, and put down in the comments below what your most anticipated game for the next console generation is going to be. For our first game that we're going to look at, it is Halo Infinite. The fan favorite series of Halo is definitely a household name for most gamers, and many love it. It's been announced already by Microsoft for a 2020 holiday release, and is set to be a launch title for the Xbox Series X, meaning it should be playable on day one of the next console generation launch. Many fans of the series are really excited for Halo Infinite, as it seems to be starring Master Chief himself with his greatest adventure yet to save humanity. It seems like if you are a Halo fan, particularly a Master Chief fan within Halo, that Halo Infinite might be a game you should get excited for. Next up, we have Hellblade II. After the reveal of the Xbox Series X, we got a rather chilling announcement trailer for Hellblade II. Considering that Microsoft bought out Ninja Theory, the studio that made the first game, the game is definitely going to be headed to Microsoft's new console, and is teased at the end, showing nothing more than Xbox Series X at the end of the announcement trailer. Now, I personally haven't played the first Hellblade, but I have watched and read a bit about it, as it looks super interesting. It's a story-driven game, drawing inspiration from Celtic culture and Norse mythology, with a narrative that serves as a metaphor for the character's struggle with psychosis and mental illness. You follow Senua, a Celtic warrior, on a journey to Helheim. While I may have missed the first game, this trailer has got me super excited for Hellblade 2, and I can't wait to hear more from Ninja Theory. For our next game, do we have any Call of Duty fans? You may know that Call of Duty is pretty much an annually released game, so it's fairly safe to presume that we're going to see another new Call of Duty game coming in 2020, probably alongside the next-gen consoles, as with most of the previous Call of Duty games, they are released around October, November sort of time, so it would fall right in line with the 2020 holiday release of the next generation of consoles. And this game is rumoured to actually be coming from a combination of Treyarch, with Raven and Sledgehammer working as support developers, so many are believing it could be a continuation of the Black Ops series. The next game we're going to talk about is going to be Overwatch 2. We've already had a great cinematic as well as a gameplay trailer, and within that trailer it actually shows off some features of the game, such as the story missions, the hero missions, co-op modes, talent and ability customization, as well as a new PvP mode called Push. While there's no actual official release date and no platform announcements as of yet, the first game was of course on both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, so it would be expected for this game to be on the next generation of console as well. Next up, we have to talk about Diablo IV. After being confirmed in 2019's BlizzCon, we know that this will be a top-down isometric RPG with an open world, 5 regions, day-night cycles, and a campaign. I have loved the campaign in past Diablo games, so I'm very excited to learn more about what is going to be in Diablo IV. While there is no official release date, with the next generation consoles dropping later this year in the holiday season, it's a safe bet to assume that we could be seeing this at some point in the future on these next generation consoles. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after that. We won't know until there's an announcement, but it's definitely going to be there at some point, and I cannot wait. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed games have never been more than 1 to 2 years apart in their release date, and since in 2019 we did not get a new Assassin's Creed game, it's highly likely that we are going to be hearing something about Assassin's Creed soon, sometime this year. And with that in mind, what better time for them to release their game, if they're going to release it this year anyway, than to match it alongside the next generation of consoles. There have also been rumours of the next Assassin's Creed game being themed around Vikings, with a codename of Kingdom and a release name of Ragnarok. However, a lot of this has already been debunked as fake. The screenshots were proven to be fake, so we won't really know what the next theme is until there is an official announcement. And I'm really excited to learn what it's going to be. I would actually really love a medieval themed Assassin's Creed game. I would take a Viking themed Assassin's Creed game as well. I think that would be totally awesome, but we will have to wait and see what the official announcement is. Next up, we have to talk about Marvel's Spider-Man. I am a huge Spider-Man fan. He's my favorite superhero, and I'm really enjoying all of the latest hype for Spider-Man. So I'm super excited for a new follow-on from the original Marvel Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. Being a game that dropped and was so well received and so liked by so many people, it's going to be very likely that we will have a second game coming from Insomniac Games at some point. But to further get us all excited, in episode 249 of the Kinda Funny Gamescast, Imran Khan says that he knows too much about Spider-Man 2, so he can't speculate too much. However, he does then later speculate at a 2021 release date and thinks that Spider-Man will come sooner than we think. So while there's nothing official and it's all speculation, it's highly likely it's going to be coming at some point, and I am super excited. So let's hope that we can hear more about a Marvel Spider-Man 2 sometime soon. Next up, we have Outriders, a game that everyone is learning a bit more about recently with all the trailers and videos that are dropping. I've actually had hands-on with this game myself, so I can tell you guys it is a third-person cover-based co-op shooter. It's also got those RPG elements. You've got classes that you pick, you have abilities that you can use, you have skill trees, variety of different weapons. It's a co-op focused game, so you can jump in with your friends and play through it. We're going to have to wait and see how this game really ends up going, of course, with the later levels, how the story develops, what the drops are going to be like, all of these things. But it was pretty fun from what I did play, and we'll just have to wait until we can see more about it. On the official Outriders Twitter, they announced that it is going to have a holiday 2020 release date on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, as well as the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and PC. So with a holiday 2020 release coinciding with the holiday 2020 release of the new consoles, could this possibly be a day one game, a launch title for these new generation of consoles? We will have to wait and see, but they definitely coincide, and we can definitely expect to see it on the next console generation. Next up, we have an exciting one. We have Godfall. This was first announced during the Game Awards in 2019. Godfall's being developed by Counterplay Games and will be published by Gearbox. They are yet to reveal when the game will actually launch, but have given a window of holiday 2020. That's right, you guessed it correct. This game is going to be a PlayStation exclusive. We're probably going to see it on the PlayStation 5 as it's in that holiday launch window, meaning we could be looking at another launch title, possibly a little bit after that, but it should be coming in 2020 nonetheless. During an interview, Godfall's creative director Keith Lee speaks about the game's inspiration and story. He says it's inspired by novels such as the Stormlight Archive, which is an ongoing epic fantasy novel, and Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, which actually looks quite interesting. I haven't read it myself, but it's seemingly about the collapse and rebirth of a vast interstellar empire. So that's definitely got my attention. However, Lee later goes on to give some details about the story, where he says the world is split up into the realms of earth, water, air, fire, and spirit, going on to say that you'll play as one of the last remnants of an exalted knight's order intent on stopping the apocalypse. So it sounds like the story is going to be quite epic. Lee has also confirmed that it's a co-op looter slasher experience set in a more serious and brand new fantasy world filled with heroic knights and ancient magic. There has actually been some gameplay footage leaked for Godfall, and the official @PlayGodfall on Twitter did do a tweet confirming that this is actually gameplay, but it is from a year ago and it was part of an internal presentation, and that the game has come really far from then, so we should stay tuned for more details soon. So while you can see some very, very early internal gameplay, it might not be a very good representation of the game, so we should hold tight for some official gameplay trailers, which will hopefully be coming soon. I'm personally a fan of co-op games, of looter games, of slasher games, of RPGs, so I cannot wait to hear more about Godfall. So I am really excited to see how far they've come in that 1 year, and it'll be kind of fun to compare it to the leaked footage once they release a new gameplay trailer. I do want to include some honorable mentions that I didn't include in the list because we just don't know if we're going to be seeing them anytime soon. The first one to talk about is going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. Since 2013, when GTA 5 was released and obviously massively successful, we have heard little to nothing about a possible GTA 6. With Red Dead Redemption 2 being the last game that Rockstar released, fans are anticipating an announcement for the next game being GTA 6. so we might be hearing more about that this year. We'll just have to wait and see. My next honourable mention is going to be a game that you might not have heard of called Starfield. From the creators of Fallout 4 and the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Starfield is set to be a brand new generation of single-player game that will be the first completely new game franchise from them within the last 25 years. There's no official release date and not a lot of information out there, and it still may be a couple years in the works. But when Bethesda Softworks studio director Todd Howard had an interview, he did say that everyone should be very, very patient. And when asked about what next generation would mean in the context of Starfield, specifically referencing whether it's the game engine or the next generation of consoles themselves, Howard said it's a bit of both. So we might be able to expect this new game Starfield coming out on the next generation of consoles, but that doesn't mean it's going to be this year. It could still be a couple years away. My next honourable mention will be a really cool game that no one seems to know anything about. It is going to be the Lord of the Rings Gollum, which is going to be a game developed by Daedalic Entertainment, the German video game developer. It's supposedly going to be an action-adventure game following the character Gollum. It's set after he acquires the One Ring, but before the events of the Lord of the Rings films and novels. Supposedly there's going to be conflict between the voices in Gollum's head, where you're going to have Smeagol's thoughts and you're going to have Gollum's thoughts, and it's going to be impactful decision making based off of that. It is supposed to be ready for a 2021 release date on PC and the relevant console platforms at the time. That's a quote from The Hollywood Reporter, where this interview came from. It's actually the first title developed in a new partnership between Daedalic and Middle-earth, but supposedly further games are in the works for the future. They say their goal is to present a storytelling experience. I, for one, am a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm super excited for any Lord of the Rings game. But my favourite Lord of the Rings games recently being the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor games, and with Lord of the Rings Gollum being set supposedly for a 2021 release, it would coincide with the premiere date for the Lord of the Rings television series from Amazon. And next up we have Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. With no official announcement of a sequel for either of these games, they were so highly successful and well received. I really enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. I thought the story was great, and I really hope there will be a second. I do wonder if it will be a sequel or a prequel. We'll have to just wait and see. And of course, God of War, such a great story game. I can't wait to hear if there's going to be a second one. I think that considering how successful these games are, we're definitely going to be hearing something about a sequel for both of them soon. At least we can hope. There's been nothing so far, so we've got to keep our fingers crossed to hear anything more about Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War. Do put down in the comments which of these games you are most excited for. Drop a like if you haven't already, and subscribe for more videos and news like this. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you guys next time.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget you can check out TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.